What's up, YouTube? Wanted to give you guys a live stream. Been having, I guess, internet issues all day, but I've been playing, and I'm currently on my Xbox because we don't do PlayStation until we get a Destiny 3. So I have an account that I use between Xbox and PlayStation. That's what I'm on currently. But I did want to kind of go over something that I'm noticing with this update. Aside from all this, the weapons, aside from all the changes to playlists, the biggest thing that I am seeing is they were planning to go all in on the armor archetypes, and we have a new armor archetype here. It's called Powerhouse. The primary stat is weapons, and the secondary stat is super. This is the first time we've had a weapons and super armor archetype for the armor. And this is on a exotic armor piece. So I don't know if this is on legendary armor as well. I just realized though that it was on my exotic armor piece. I've been doing a lot of the distortion activity, and that's how I've been getting my armor. It is able to drop tier 5 armor. I've been getting tier 3, tier 4, and tier 5 armor as well. Title of this stream though is what you missed when you stopped playing after the final shape. So we're gonna get into that, but if you do me a favor, give me a like, give me a follow. I'm gonna be going more in depth on all the things that are dropping with this update, and things that I'm finding, and just the details and basics on making your builds and being able to follow videos of people that give you builds as well. There's a lot of things that go into builds, and it's not just the weapons, and it's not just the exotic armor pieces. There's a lot more in-depth things that go into it, down to the mods, down to the armor archetypes. Like I was talking about on here, this armor archetype is also a factor in some builds. So we're just gonna go over a few of the armor archetypes and why they matter. Starting with this Exodus armor. This is from Nessus. If y'all don't know, they updated the destinations from the base game, the original game, which was Nessus and the EDZ and the Cosmodrome, things that were in the game before they started adding Beyond Light and other DLCs. They've now brought all of the destinations that were older up to date. You can now get tier 5 armor in those places. You can get tier 5 weapons. You have better rolls on the weapons. You have each destination has its own armor archetype that you can get, as well as the set bonus that comes with each of these sets. So we're starting with the Nessus set right here. The 2 pieces an emergency electromagnet. That means you have 2 pieces of armor from this specific set. When your shields become broken, collect all nearby orbs of power and ammo bricks. If you have just 2 pieces, you're able to use this bonus. If you have 4 pieces, it's going to be whenever you gain, lose, or spend an armor charge, heal and gain damage reduction for a short time, which seems pretty good, but depending on how much damage reduction and how much healing is going to determine if you want to use this. I'm trying to collect them because I want to find out and see if it's good, if it's worth having. So I started doing the distortion activity that got added in. Will be making a video going over distortions and just the things you can get and how you start them and how the loop goes, because you only have an hour or so on a destination to farm, and then it switches to a new destination. And that's how I've been getting these different armor pieces. But I mean, the time goes by really fast, and it's just been a really smooth transition going to different destinations. There's people playing, so there's other people that will help you. If you don't have a team, right now is the best time to get in the game and come try these new events out, try these new weapons and armor. The tower is set up to where it has a section for rewards in the middle of the tower. Before, it was just a big open gap. Now there's a area to go to where you can claim rewards as you complete triumphs for the DLC or the update. And it's just a lot of things that they added to keep us busy. Myself, I have just scratched the surface of this update. I have not done Pantheon. I haven't checked out Gambit. They updated Gambit. I haven't checked out any of the playlists or any of the Pinnacle or solo ops. They improved all of those things as well. They changed a lot of the what do you call them? Rhymes with words. The modifiers on the different playlist activities. They've streamlined them to be, you just pick one difficulty and it gives you the rewards for that difficulty. So you're not having to min-max additional modifiers into the activities to try and get that tier 5. If you want a tier 5, you go to master or higher, and then you add just a little bit of modifier, and that's it. But everything else is just set up to where you pick a difficulty, you go in and you do it. Revives have been taken away in a lot of these activities. Only the hardest of hardcore activities have revives, and it's not made to where you have to do that. I mean, I'm over here getting tier 5s at level 314. So it's a big change from what it was to be able to get these different armors and weapons, but it's not so watered down or boring. I mean, you can start like where I'm starting. This account is a old account. The only reason I jumped on this account because I was able to get this emblem. The emblem shows that I have played all the way since the beginning, all the way to Renegades, and I was able to get the emblem. On my other account I have, not so much. I wasn't around for the Red War with the PC. I wasn't around for, all these other DLCs. I very recently got on PC, but I did want to hop on the Xbox, go back to my roots, play a little bit on my old character, make some builds. Touch of Malice I have on my account. I have almost all the exotics from the raids before the final shape and Renegades and Edge of Fate. I don't have any of the exotics that came out after then, so I still have things to chase. But I mean, you guys that stopped playing at Final Shape, you know, y'all missed out on all these armor bonuses and just build crafting that came after the Final Shape. They went in and made it to where, you know, a lot of armor pieces were going to be getting these set bonuses. They even added them onto the destination from Beyond Light, Europa. The 2-piece is resupply. So 2 armor pieces you can, after being out of combat for a moderate duration, your next final blow grants additional ammo progress and creates an orb of power. Which, I mean, that seems pretty useful. And then if you have 4 pieces of the Crystocrene set, being out of combat for a moderate duration, slowly gain frost armor until you re-enter combat. So, leaning into frost armor, leaning into ammo progress, and getting orbs of power. This seems like a good set to have. Again, I mean, that's just off of looking at what it does. Now, there are some set pieces or sets that don't really have something that I'd want. This one is from Edge of Fate. It's not one that I don't want. It's another example. For the 2-piece, when your shields begin to regenerate, you gain flinch resistance and damage resistance for a short time. So that's more of a PvP kind of set bonus. And then the 4-piece for this is, while your reserves are low, combatant final blows with weapons provide additional ammo progress based on their ammo type. Primary ammo weapons boost special ammo progress. Special ammo weapons boost heavy ammo progress. So that one's more of a PvE set bonus. And then the armor archetype is gunner. So weapons is primary, then grenade is secondary. But I mean, the biggest thing is you're shooting for tier 5 armor, starting out, coming back. You wanna work towards getting tier 5 armor. You wanna engage in these activities. If you're an in-game player and you're coming back, you have the Pantheon. You have things in Crucible that they've done. They redid the rotation on playlists for Iron Banner and as well as Trials. So it's going to be rotating on a random rotation, but the maps they picked are going to be maps that people like going to. It's not just going to be maps you don't want to go to. And then Gambit has its own set bonus for its armor that drops. It brought back older weapons from past Gambit seasons and Gambit weapons. So that's being brought back. Not all of them are going to be available, I believe. They brought back 21% Delirium. That was an OG Gambit weapon, heavy, and now you can get it tier 5. It still has the role that it came with, in addition to other roles it can get, but the main perk role that it had is still available on the loot pool for perks. So there's a lot of stuff that's being brought back, being added, being changed around to make relevant. Just playing today and not being in a fire team, I'm still trying to do what I was doing. My only issue now is I'm just running out of postmaster space. which
She said she wanted to express herself.
wouldn't be a problem if I put stuff into my vault. They also gave us 300 additional slots in our vault, so we can empty our pockets and go back to farming. I for sure have way too many of this hand cannon. This I'm going to just feed into another weapon. All of these actually I'm going to just feed into another weapon except Permafrost, because that's an event weapon. And if you don't know, events like the Christmas event, summer event, Halloween event, all those events will not be returning. So unfortunately, we will not see the summer event come back. I really liked it last year. The set bonus you got from that armor was really good, and I really wish I would have played more on this account to have armor for all my characters. But that was a time period between Edge of Fate and Renegades that they were still tweaking all the bugs and things that they had changed in Edge of Fate, because it wasn't received so well. If they would have had it come out the way this armor and the way these set bonuses are, and they had more of it, it probably would have been a little bit better reception. But because there was not that many variation in armor, not everything was updated yet, they've just really had a very challenging year. And I know it's probably because they don't have enough people no more, and because they're worried about a game that they shouldn't be worried about. So it's just a bittersweet ending to this live service game. But the updates that they invested and put into the game are miles above what it was a few months ago. So don't let the media and all these videos that are saying these horrible things about this company deter you from this game, because this game is where it's at for a reason. It's been around for 10 years for a reason. It's just a learning curve, just like any other thing. It's a learning curve, and I promise that if you invest the time to learn the game and learn the interactions between armor, between abilities, between weapons, you'll have a lot of fun. You'll have a lot of fun. I put this game right now right up there with Path of Exile 1 and 2. Of course, Path of Exile 1 and 2 are different games, but I would play all three of these games if I had all the time to do that. If I could just be a streamer and play games, those are the games I'd be playing for now. There's a lot of games coming down the pipeline. They're remaking The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. I still have to do a playthrough of Pokemon Legends Arceus. I still have to do replay some of the newer Pokemon games that have come out, just to stream it, just to have some footage on it. I played these games and I was not streaming before. Now I'm streaming, so I want to get my play style and my games on my channel for me, for my identity and for my algorithm. It's also, good to hear other people's opinions and to collaborate with things about the games. It's not just about me, it's about the experiences along the way. And I've been enjoying a lot of Destiny. There's a lot of times where I would be doing a raid, or I'd find groups and we all just clicked and meshed together, and before I knew it, it was 4 or 5 in the morning, 6. I had a really good group whenever the what dungeon was that? Let's see. What's that dungeon called? It's on Europa, I know that. Vesper's Host. Okay. So Vesper's Host was a really it was a really good experience because I had two guys that joined randomly. I don't know if I joined them to run a one run of Vesper's Host. Met this guy. Me and him were about at the same skill levels, and we ran it, and we ended up finishing the dungeon with just two of us because the guy had to leave. And then after that, we found this other guy that joined us, and he ended up clicking with us, and we all were about the same skill level. And if you've ever played a game where there's just a group of you guys that just are at the same page, you barely have to communicate to know what the person's going to do next. I mean, this was probably the best experience of a fire team I had. I played with, you know, coworkers and stuff, and it's just not the same thing. You know, people are cool in real life, but you know, sometimes they're not locked in the way you're locked in on the game. They play it, but they're not really dedicated to it, so they're just like whatever. I wouldn't say, you know, that this is my favorite game of all time, but I would say it's one of the top 5. And it just makes it better when you have a fire team of people together to play things. Right now, this solo thing, I mean, it's cool. There's stuff to do as a solo player, but it's going to get to the point where, you know, I'm going to have to start going into Fireteam Finder and doing LFG, and you know, that's always a nightmare because you never know who you're going to match up with, or if they're what skill level they're on, or if they're just going to start it and then leave because they get frustrated or whatever. There's just a lot of things that can happen. But I definitely did want to get a live stream for the first day, even though, you know, it's 1 a.m. But this is what I've been doing today. I've been running around. Told myself I was going to focus on doing distortions. I wanted to see what kind of armor and weapons. I haven't been to the Cosmodrome yet, so we got 40 minutes to run around and do some stuff on the Cosmodrome. So I'm gonna get back to it.
This match would be funny if it weren't so embarrassing, Guardian.
But I mean, if you're checking out this video later on and you're, you know, 20 minutes, you made it 20 minutes in, you know, what are you guys liking about the update? I mean, there's a lot of things to like, whether you're a Titan main, a Hunter main, Warlock main. I'd like to see your guys' feedback and comments later, so we can, you know, have a conversation about it. It's really cool to have all these coming back and playing. Go ahead and apologize now if you're still watching. As a matter of fact, probably. some that I can plug in that aren't wireless. I'll do that here in a bit. But yeah, so this new event, it happens immediately after a regular public event, and you will see this beam coming down. It's not always in the most obvious places. Sometimes it's like in the corners or behind some buildings somewhere, but it's not always going to be just like right here where you can see it. But this is going to spawn a really 9 waves of buildings, and in between every 3 waves you have a separate objective that you have to complete. It's going to be shooting a cluster eruption, and then you do 3 of those and you go back to the horde mode basically. So portion of this. Playing on Warlock right now. One of the things they did, I'll go over it right now. See, we got 2 tier 5 boots. Sniper. Let's see, let's check this out. Yeah. So Sniper, 4th time, Terror, Precision, Mega Quick Whip. This is a new perk. Yeah, so the Skull of Dire Ahamkara, one of the things they did was they changed up how it works. So now after casting Nova Bomb, we get a second cast to do Nova Bomb Lance. So Nova Bomb Lance was in Destiny 1. They brought it to Destiny 2 by attaching it to the skull of Dire Ahamkara. And you can shoot that second Nova Bomb, the Nova Bomb Lance, at the Nova Bomb you first shoot out to cause a bigger explosion and more damage. And then Nova Bomb Final Blows and Weapon Final Blows, while I have Devour give super energy. So it just feeds more to get Nova Bomb the super back faster. So as long as I keep it Devour as long as I keep it Devour and continue to chain it, I can build super very fast. Final blows to a challenging amount. Higher rank target grant unstable essence. When you have unstable essence, you receive grenade and melee stat bonuses. We don't get too long with these events popping up, so you got to keep moving around the map. So here we have our base public event starting out. Start this. Complete it. 7 Seraph weapon. Pass. Pulse rifle. Bolt shot. Supercharged magazine. So pretty cool. I want a tier 5 of that for sure. As you saw when we finished that. Finish that public event. The distortion event. So now we just that was a weird I don't know why it ended the way it did, but we got the chest and didn't get a tier 5. Usually when you finish the event, you'll get tier 5s from that chest. So that's how I've been getting my tier 5s, is we get all the way to the end, defeat the boss, and then in there it's straight. So gonna start making my way to the other thing to note is that once it is the end of that hour, it's the end of that hour, and it'll stop the event in the middle of the event. It doesn't matter. It'll just
Shaw to all hands at the Cosmodrome. Looks like the Fallen are setting down another walker.
7. Sarah, tier 5. Oh, perfect. Kinetic trimmers. And all the stuff. And more people that are here is this round is going to definitely be easy. Hopefully we're able to finish this before it rotates to another planet. I'm not sure. Part is just destroying corruptions. confirm that the powerhouse is on other enemies. Final blows with area effect damage. Solar abilities. 7 solar weapons. Where I kill his weapons, grant War Mine charges. Each stack of War Mine charges your weapons and grenade stats. Rasputin's Reprisal. While you have War Mine charges, defeating powerful combatants, destroying a construct, or destroying a tangle releases a solar detonation that damages combatants and heals allies. Oh, okay. So that's what. Okay. Huh. So War Mine cells confirmed?
I help? Sign here. Underway. Confirmed. Goodbye. Checking. Check. Acknowledged. Done. Acknowledged.
Isn't just a title. It's a promise.
The newsfeed, it's just a cover for the war cult. That newsfeed, it's just a cover for the war cult.
I love paper books. There's a place in Fuon that makes them for a fortune.
Eververse trades in
Ready?
goods we feel enhance a Guardian's journey.
Gross.
She said she wanted to express herself, so I gave her a thumbs up.
Please, Guardian. It's busy.
This is no time for politics.
Huh.
Ready to check.
At night, you can't see the damage. Much.
Eververse isn't just a title, it's a promise.
If you're watching this later and you haven't checked out my videos over Hunter or the Warlock, I'm going to have a Titan video coming out soon to go over the Titan changes. Please just remember to leave a like, give a follow, and leave a comment. Let me know what is your starting Guardian, or if you're interested in trying another. What's your favorite exotic? What's your favorite build to run? Or if you don't know any builds, you know, we can talk about making some builds, and maybe we can help you get set up on that. But yeah, just don't
She
forget
said
to leave a
she
comment.
wanted to express
Let me know what
herself,
y'all
so
think. Let me
I
know
gave
what
her
y'all
a
want to
thumbs
see
up.
and hear about, and we can have a discussion about. Let's see. Go check this out.
Missed that run in the Crucible?
Right away, Guardian.
My wife is
Just gonna take a minute here.
Eververse isn't just a title, it's a promise.
on newsfeed. It's just a cover for the war cult. They'll never make the deadline.
New address. New address.
I guess it's official. There's a place on the east tower where we go to watch the sun come up over the wall. production is down 33%. It was a Hawk class chassis, but modded so much you'd never recognize it.
Newsfeed is just a cover for the war cult.
Sure. Take it. Show them what you're made of.
Alright, I'm gonna call it a night. Like I said, just wanted to get on here, give a quick stream. I'll be doing some more videos tomorrow, do some editing and posting them tomorrow. We'll have some videos over the Titan, probably a video over some distortion things, and in addition to this stream talking about distortions and the armor set bonuses and things of that nature. So still got some stuff I want to make. Gotta plan it out and get a script going and record it and go over each thing I want to. Oh man, but as y'all can hear, I'm not going to last much longer, so I'm gonna call it here
Need a schematic to read this schematic.
and end the
Most
stream.
unusual symbology.
But thank you guys on YouTube, all my followers. If you're all watching this later and y'all watch to the end, thank you so much. You guys have been great. Channel is continuously starting to grow, and we're on the right track. So thank you guys so much. Till then, I'll I'll see you guys tomorrow or later on today.